somebody does something that's a little bit outside the lines and there is a big complaint on social media, nobody stands up for them. And the problem is that nobody ever gets canceled for being too woke. So you can say the craziest thing.
Be authentic.
What do I authentically, organically want to share? I go back to the authenticity, right? It's what I love and it's what I want to share. I wanted to do what felt authentic, but also to be authentic.
Shut the F up.
That's what just happened. Oh my God.
Every single time Meghan Markle pops up in the spotlight, the script feels like deja vu.
Something to like about her, and it's so hard.
First comes the victim card, then the spin, and finally the dramatic surprise when the backlash comes crashing down harder than she ever imagined.
I think she's just got so used to lying that maybe, in my opinion, she believes the lies she tells. I don't know, but either way, she's just been so consistently.
Bill Maher wasn't having it, and his latest takedown cut sharper than ever. He didn't just roast Meghan, he cracked open the whole pattern for the world to see. The same tired routine, over and over again, played out like a broken record.
It's a hate crime, and it's violence, and it's unacceptable. And it's just got to stop. You don't get your teenagers under control.
The crowd couldn't hold back their laughter because once Maher laid it out, the act looked painfully obvious. She might not carry the Royal Highness title anymore, but Meghan still struts into interviews with that trademark performance, wide-eyed, trembling voice, perfectly crafted poor me storyline.
In public.
You're complaining about your hard life, and you're so privileged. It's just so weird.
It's ridiculous. I totally agree.
Plays the victim. My castle's too small. The queen is mean to me. They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore. But
It's like she's reading from a script we've all heard 100 times before. Maher ripped right through it, exposing how Meghan has turned every little stumble into a grand sob story. He made it clear, this isn't about raw pain. It's about playing the public like a piano, hitting the same keys until the tune wears thin. The audience wasn't just laughing, they were nodding along, realizing they'd been watching the same act on repeat.
It's the cry bullies of that generation, as I said, raised wrong. So they think when someone disagrees with them, it's a hate crime, and it's violence, and it's unacceptable, and it's just got to stop. You don't get your teenagers under control.
From Oprah's stage to Netflix screens, Meghan Markle's interviews always play out like a scripted drama. Tearful confessions, long dramatic pauses, and the classic "nobody understands me" storyline. It's the same routine dressed up as revelation. When Spotify axed her podcast, she didn't point to weak numbers or lack of listeners.
Because the British tabloids will destroy your life. And I very naively, I'm American, we don't have that.
Right. I'm so unsafe when I'm in Britain. Everybody's trying to kill me. My family would be at such risk. Oh my God, do you realize how unsafe it is?
No, Meghan claimed it was all because of mysterious institutional resistance. The woman can turn even a flop into a conspiracy. And in every clash with the royal family, she paints herself as the lonely outsider, carefully skipping over the part where her own choices sparked the mess in the first place. Every setback magically transforms into another pity-charged chapter in her never-ending saga.
Too well aware, Meghan has always been a mad, keen player of the victim card. The nasty Brits who took against her because of the colour of her skin. The social media lynch mob who are so unconscionably cruel to her. The journalist haters who keep writing about what a bully she is. All the negative media coverage she gets has nothing to do with her. It's not her personality. It's not her behaviour. And it's definitely not her ruthless ambition.
She swears she knew nothing about the royal lifestyle, then flips to blaming British tabloids, sprinkling dramatic stories with crocodile tears on every podcast she touches. And let's be real, she's not walking this path alone. Meghan dragged Harry straight into the pity parade, once a prince with global respect, now reduced to looking like a sidekick in her professional victim routine.
I think Harry's a... I do. I think he's a whining, whinging, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems. Like, my life was so hard. Everybody's fucking life is hard.
Well, I give her a gold medal.
They're blaming everyone but themselves, while still thriving off their own self-inflicted chaos. Meanwhile, the media didn't even need popcorn. The second those tears hit the screen, headlines were dissecting every pause, every trembling word, and every so-called revelation. The performance was just too easy to pick apart. It plays out like the cringiest season finale of a bad soap opera, and Meghan's got the lead role locked down. Just when you think the endless victim routine is the peak of the drama, buckle up, because as soon as the tears dry, Meghan slides straight into her next act.
I didn't like feeling forced to be all looks and little substance. And that's how it felt for me at the time, being reduced to this specific archetype.
What has emerged is a self-absorbed narcissist living in a parallel universe with her own version of the truth.
Full-blown narcissist mode, level unlocked. Suddenly, she's no longer the wronged princess. She transforms into the self-declared center of the universe, convinced that every camera lens, headline, and spotlight should orbit around her like planets circling the sun. It's like sitting front row at a one-woman show where Meghan is the only star, and everyone else, friends, family, even the royals, are just extras waiting to be discarded when their scene is over. And she's proven this time and time again, people aren't whispering anymore. They're flat out shouting it. This isn't confidence. It's straight-up textbook narcissism. Every chapter of her life screams the same thing. Meghan first, everyone else second.
Fake royal.
Me, 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 me.
Do you know her?
No, but she is a malignant narcissist who cannot get enough of herself.
But then comes the ultimate plot twist, and it's so hypocritical, it's almost comedic. The privacy card. Meghan and Harry shout louder than anyone about wanting privacy, yet somehow end up signing multi-million-dollar deals to spill every private detail on camera. It's like screaming, "No photos," while live streaming from your own driveway. Every time they demand to be left alone, they pop right back up on a podcast, in a docuseries, splashed across a glossy magazine cover. Privacy, Markle style, means cashing in on the very attention they claim to despise. Let's be real, it's not just me, the whole world sees it.
It essentially mocks how they have said that they want to retire into a more quiet life away from the royal family, even though they are simultaneously trashing their families publicly, writing books, starting podcasts, doing Netflix shows, winning awards for their humanitarian and activist efforts. All of the above, it's really what all of us private people do, you know?
Notice me!
Meghan and Harry scream about their right to privacy, but anyone paying attention knows that's not what they're chasing. The proof is right there in plain sight. You don't beg for privacy while cashing massive podcast checks, signing flashy Netflix deals, and spilling royal tea in prime time with Oprah. That's not privacy. That's PR with a fat paycheck on the side. And does that ever stop her from oversharing? Not a chance. Privacy in Meghan's world means cutting out the dull parts of life and spotlighting only the juicy, click-worthy bits. One moment she's dropping a random twerking video nobody asked for. The next, she's dragging her kids into the spotlight under the excuse of protecting them. It's not privacy, it's Meghan-style marketing. Say it, sell it, and overshare it with maximum drama. And speaking of drama, her list of failures deserves its own Sussex survival guide. From interviews that exploded in her face to books that read like marathon pity parties, Meghan has been sliding through a non-stop comedy of errors. Take her very first podcast, for example.
This is to induce Elizabeth's birth. She's dancing in front of the camera. Oh God, it looks like a lap dancing club with pregnant women. He's also dancing in front of the camera. She's got a black dress on. She's literally holding her bump and twerking, and she's put this on social media. Is it me? Is it me, or is there nothing this woman... Is she ever going to get to the point where she literally looks in the mirror and goes, "Nobody's interested in my jam or my life. Nobody likes me. Shut the hell up"?
I mean, this is oversharing.
The debut with Jamie was meant to charm everyone and make her relatable. Instead, it flopped so badly she became a running joke. What was supposed to build her image ended up shredding it, leaving her mocked by almost everyone watching. Things really fell apart when Meghan tried selling the idea that she showed up to her podcast raw and makeup-free. Cute angle. Except critics instantly noticed the flawless skin, the perfect lighting, and what looked like a glam squad lurking just out of frame. Body language experts didn't hold back. They called it fake, pointing out how her emotional moments looked rehearsed, with expressions that felt staged and way too polished. The sighs, the pauses, the dramatic eye search, it all screamed scripted performance. Nothing about it came off real. Every move was perfectly timed, perfectly fake, and painfully desperate to look relatable. Instead, it ended up looking embarrassing. Her expression expressions could win awards for worst acting, flipping characters faster than Netflix drops her million-dollar deals. 1 minute Meghan's playing the fragile outsider, the next, she's strutting around like a rebellious royal icon. In her world, relatable just means stamping herself with a royal label, no matter how fake the act looks once the cameras roll.
For me, it's so important that my kids see me as a working mom.
Oh my God. And that we all see her as that, because what? She feels guilty about the $150 million she grifted off of being a fake royal.
People who actually knew Meghan before all this say the soft, trembling, vulnerable routine is nothing but pure fiction. Her old mannerisms didn't match this act at all. Now, wrapped up in royal privilege, she rolls out the "I'm a soft mommy" persona, like she's auditioning for the role of world's most misunderstood woman. It doesn't feel natural. It feels like she's reading straight from a sympathy script. And let's talk about that working mom claim, because honestly, it's laughable. What work? What grind? Real moms push from sunrise to sunset just to keep food on the table. Meanwhile, Meghan's version of hard work looks like manipulating Harry, using her kids as promo props and deciding which sob story to cash in on next. Flopped podcasts, failed series, endless rebrands. The cycle never stops. Instead of showing grit, she's mastered the art of selling drama while pretending it's duty. And the more she insists she's just another hardworking mom, the clearer it becomes her struggles are staged for the spotlight, not lived in the real world. Share my name with my children. That line alone set the tone, but Bill Maher didn't let it slide. He nailed the absurdity of Meghan Markle crying and complaining while living the kind of life most people couldn't even imagine. He joked that even with castles, million-dollar contracts, and cameras chasing her every move, she still manages to find fresh drama to market.
Fragile. You know, just take a hint from the Queen, the recently departed.
Never complain, never explain, and rarely be heard speaking in public.
Only Meghan could turn having everything into another chapter of royal misery. Her endless quest to look authentic has completely blown up in her face. Every move now feels staged. Every real moment so rehearsed it might as well come with cue cards. The harder she pushes this image of relatability, the faker it looks. And audiences are calling it out louder than ever. Just think back to the racism accusations against the royals. That was the moment her carefully polished act cracked wide open. It was supposed to cement her as the brave truth-teller, but instead it exposed the performance behind the tears. Since that day, Meghan hasn't been able to shake the label of being inauthentic. Every attempt to rebuild feels more scripted, more exaggerated, and more unbelievable. Because she's always complaining, people are left asking, what is she even talking about?
Ben, you guys being narcissistic jerks at every turn, bullying members of the palace, complaining constantly if not every piece of press was complimentary enough of you, being nasty to William and Kate. I could go on, but there's a reason the press turned on her that has nothing to do with, as the clip says, hatred.
With Meghan, the pattern is crystal clear. Every move reeks of desperate branding while hiding behind a mask of authenticity. Her infamous podcast only exposed it further, with critics like Bill Maher ripping into the obvious fakery. At the core, the problem has always been the same: her relentless, inauthentic vibe crashing into her very privileged reality. Add on top the endless PR stunts, and the whole act starts to look like one giant, out-of-touch scramble for relevance. Nothing feels natural. It feels like marketing dressed up as misery. And the public isn't buying it anymore. Maher's jab about her needing to take a hint from the late Queen drove the point home. The Queen led with quiet dignity, ruling without endless theatrics. Meanwhile, Meghan is out here flooding every channel: podcasts, Instagram posts, back-to-back interviews, constantly over-explaining herself. But the irony is brutal. The more she talks, the less convincing she sounds. All that curation, all that performance, all those explanations, it doesn't inspire sympathy. It just makes people roll their eyes harder. Meghan's brand isn't building. It's collapsing under the weight of her own overexposure. Bill Maher roasted her perfectly. But let's be real, Meghan makes it too easy. Every word, every move, whether she's crying about privacy, tossing out racism claims, rolling out another fake-sounding podcast, or bragging about being authentic, it all turns into one big comedy sketch. She's practically handing people the material to laugh at. At the end of the day, no matter how many million-dollar deals she signs, titles she drops, or sympathy cards she plays, the public keeps seeing right through it. Meghan's entire act is built on carefully staged drama, and the harder she tries to sell authenticity, the faker it looks. Maybe if she finally stopped scripting every chapter of her life, she might stumble into the realness she's been marketing for years. But until that happens, it's just another never-ending season of Meghan's royal drama, a show so fake it might as well be called Pity Palace. So what do you think? Will Meghan ever stop turning her life into a soap opera, or is she already filming the next season of her pity parade? Drop your thoughts below, roast away, and if this gave you a laugh, smash that like button and subscribe.